starting off in prepping can be very daunting, and it's overwhelming. And you know, you get like, you don't even know what to get because there's so much stuff out there and you're given so much input. Well, we're going to make it simple for you, and we're going to give you 10 items that we think that you should have to start prepping. And what's really good about this video is even if you are prepping, I'll bet you we have some things that you've never thought about. So come with me and let's talk about it.
Hi, this is Belinda from Normal Prepping.
And this is Wayne. Today we're going to go over, as I mentioned, 10 items if you're going to get started in prepping. So the first thing that we're going to go over is always the most important and most common to talk about is water storage and filtration. You should buy some kind of water storage jug, whatever. We actually got, I don't have it open, but I actually got this big bag that I bought that you can fill up with water, you know, and then you also can use jugs, and we have a video on that. We'll put a link up above so you can watch that. And the other thing is you'll need is a filter. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can get that just to start off. Just get one of these backpacking filters. I like the Platypus. It's here. You just hook it to a bottle or a bag, and you can, you know, as you need it. Another one is the grill. I don't own one. One day I'll buy one, but they're a little more expensive. But the grill is another good filter because it gets rid of viruses and things like that. So that's a good one to have.
Yeah. And
the next one is our non-perishable food. Just start buying. I mean, you don't need to go crazy and top out your credit card. Because that's the problem with starting prepping, and that's why we want to do this video, is not to get overwhelmed. I know we went through that where all of a sudden we went crazy and started buying everything. And then pretty soon you're like, wow, you know, I'm broke. Now I need to eat my stuff I've been saving. So, but one thing you want to do, we really like the Mountain House. I've been buying those. You can get them on sale a lot. These things are great. You just add water. All you have to do is boil like a cup and a half of water. You put it in here. You can eat it right out of the bag. Yeah. These are incredible.
And what you want to do is you want to get food that have high calories. You just don't want to buy a couple cases of green beans because that's not very. Doesn't have very many calories for you. So
yes, always pay attention to your calorie count. Try not to, like she said, don't get corn and, you know.
Well, yeah, you do need those things. You want to make sure you always have high calorie foods in your prepping storage.
Yeah, and one thing I look at is, the girl Chef Boyardee's. These are great, and they're full meal. You can eat them hot or cold, which is really nice.
Man, kids love them.
Yeah, kids love them. Adults like them. Brings back memories.
And you don't have to worry about cooking it.
Yep.
You just eat it out of the can.
And that's one thing you want to think about too, is because like if there's any kind of outage, you may not have power, you may not heat. So you don't need to want to waste your resources on heating something. It's good to eat it just cold.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is I didn't bring out our big one, but this is you need a trauma kit. Something that, and this has a tourniquet on the back. A trauma kit is not what the kit that you have for, when you get a scrape or a cut. Yeah. This is the one you stay out of unless there's something bad happens. This is the major issues, big bleeds and things like that. Big cuts. Yeah, this has sutures and everything. Yeah. And one thing I did when I built this one is a lot of the stuff in here, even though I've taken advanced first aid, it's way out of my league. However, it's good to have because you never know when someone may have that knowledge and be able to use it. So it's always good to have on any first aid kit you make. Always build it slowly. Add things that you don't have to know how to use it because if somebody else can use it on you or somebody else if they have the knowledge. So
include a tourniquet.
The other thing you want to add is cough syrup. This is kind of not quite a trauma, but cough syrup and stomach Pepto-Bismol, because that happens and you can't go to the store.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's all I got in this little box. So the next one is larger, and this one is power.
Emergency power.
Emergency power of some sort. And this is a 500 watt, which probably isn't useful for, everything. but it runs what we need. Because see, we also have a gas generator. So for us, this is all the extra we need. And then we also, with this, and there's links in the description for this too. There's also, you want to get like solar panels. So you have a way of charging it up. And there's a link on that in the description.
So this is really handy to have for if you're in your home and you need to charge your phones. You need to plug it in a lamp. You need to do something of that sort.
Yeah, you can plug in lamps in this. Like I say, I did a video on that. I'll link it up.
Yeah.
And also, we did one time. Everybody else is we're in a blackout. What are we doing? We had a DVD player and we're watching videos with this.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
It was great. Too.
Yeah. Yeah, we got hours of it out of this thing. So, and one thing I recommend when you buy one of those, but you get one of these. What they do is you plug this in to a receptacle, and then you plug it in. It tells you how many watts it draws. So that way because you can't overpower one of these. So that's a 500. So you can't like put a toaster or any kind of cooking stove or anything on it. It's just for light duty. So if you get some of the bigger ones, but what's a good idea is to go around your house, the things you think you're going to use, and plug this into the wall, plug it in there, and see how much power it draws.
Yeah, so that way you know ahead of time if you can use it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
the next one is, you can talk about this one.
Which is?
The lights, emergency lights.
This is a headlamp. We have these, each of us have these. We have them on the post of our bed. So in case there's a blackout and we need to get out of bed and we can't see in the middle of the night, we use these. We can put these on, walk around, and check everything out and see what's going on.
Every prepper should start off with these. And then also get the lanterns, which we have, and I didn't bring up with me, are the lanterns that are USB rechargeable.
Yeah.
And then that way you don't have to go have the batteries and stuff.
And that's all you need, as long as you keep it recharged.
And the next thing, I don't have it here because it's all set up in our kitchen, and that's our vacuum sealer. We've done a bunch of videos on our vacuum sealer. And those are really good to get started because you can waterproof anything. I mean, you can put things in. You can make kits. Like we'll make kits, which we have videos on. Go look at all our videos. We have kits that we do, and then we vacuum seal them so they don't get wet. And they say, and then all your food and all this, you can start doing all kinds of stuff. And it gets you in the mindset too of prepping and saving things and keeping things dry and having things for a long time. So I think a vacuum sealer is a really good deal. Yeah,
to start out with. And then you, of course, you use it for other things, but prepping, it's really resourceful.
And we use ours daily, just for other, for everything, for life. This is one of the ones that I think that a lot of preppers haven't thought about. At least I never hear this one.
Yeah.
And that's a bike, an electric bike, or a motorcycle. Some kind of transportation, side by side, whatever. You don't got to spend a lot of money. Just get a bicycle. So that way, if things are out, you have a way of, besides walking, you can go check out what's going on. If you have a flood, if there's, fire or whatever.
You can't get your car out for some reason. You can't get your car out. Yeah.
It's really nice to have a bike. Yeah. A good mountain bike will get you, get you out there. The next one is cooking. There's a lot of forms of cooking. You want to have a backup cooking. Yeah. And this is the jet boil. These are really common in backpacking. It has the cup, the burner and everything all in one. So they're nice. You can stick them in a bag and have them for an emergency. Because when the power goes out or whatever, you want to be able to heat stuff up.
Yeah.
So these work great.
And you just boil water and add them to your mountain house bag, and you have your whole meal.
Yep, you're done.
Yeah.
Another thing you can do is also get one of those Coleman. We have one of those Coleman 2 burners. That run on propane.
Yeah, those are really handy.
Those are handy. You can also get the adapter for that, so you can have it on the big tank instead of those little Billy Barty tanks that don't work very long.
Yeah.
So that's perfect. And there's also the barbecue, but a side note on barbecues. If you're out for a long time, you don't want to start throwing steak on the barbecue because you don't want everybody in the neighborhood saying, "Hey, I'm eating." They got food. I'm eating the dog food here, and these people they're cooking steak. So that's something you'd want to use kind of early on because you know how barbecue travels, and unless you live out by yourself, I'd be careful with the barbecue.
Yeah. Just be cautious of what's who and what's around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next one is the radios and emergency communication.
Yes. We have these walkie-talkies.
And we did a video on this, on which radios we prefer.
Yeah.
I think the best to start with are what I always call them the kiddie radios. They're the FRS radios. You don't need a license. I like the Cobra. This one, it's a pretty good one, and it also has the weather on it, so
keeps you informed.
And that way, if you guys go out and about, you can still communicate with each other.
Yeah.
It's not like a full ham, but you guys, like if somebody's going out and checking areas.
Yeah.
And another thing that's good about these is a lot of times, more than like ham radio that everybody pushes, even though I'm a ham radio operator, more people have these. So you're more likely to find out what's going on in your area off of one of these than you are off of most ham radios, because everybody
you
has
can
these.
listen into what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen in what's going on. And then this is a higher end item, but I always have to recommend it, even to a new prepper. And this is the Garmin InReach. And I've talked about this a lot because I use this backpacking, and you can communicate. I could be out middle of nowhere, and I always let her know where I'm at.
Yeah.
She can actually see where I'm at on a map. They make two of these, a different type too. They make a smaller one. I bought this one probably about 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so they have a smaller one, which is, but they have mapping, and I can even find my way with this because it has maps.
And I can track him. I could go on my phone and watch his steps.
Yeah.
See where he's at.
Yeah, she can see
I
where
can
I'm
ping
at.
him, find out where he's at.
Yep, it's pretty neat. And so there's a link, of course, for this in the description. And also, it comes. You have to know that it does. You have to buy a plan with it. So I also have the information on that.
And it is a satellite radio, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's satellite.
Yeah.
It's satellite communicator.
Yep.
And then the final one,
And let me reach over here.
her favorite.
It's a steam canner.
It's a steam canner.
One of the reasons why we're recommending this is because it helps preserve your food. I mean, you could steam can food.
Yes, we just did a video on
Yeah,
it.
on
Cranberry juice.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, and she did the video on it. I'll put a link on that too. She did a video on that. Basically, it was
how to.
Yeah, how to, a viewer's request on how to use one of these, because people talk about these all the time, but they're trying to find out how to use one. So she did a full video on how to use the steam canner making cranberry juice.
Yeah.
But you can use it with anything else, and she explains that in a video. But
This is a steam canner. It's a lot less intimidating
intimidating
than a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
And it's great. It preserves your food, and I love it.
Yep.
Just start, just buy a couple things at a time. Like we always say, just be cautious of what you're buying. Don't just bulk buy because it's a bulk item. You want to make sure, like we said, you want to have all the calorie counts when you're prepping, and you want to make sure you have water storage. That's just the number one thing, actually. And just know your surroundings, and just hunker down wherever you're at.
Yep.
And just write it through.
And another side note of this, when you start prepping, you may be able to have a neighbor or friend who's also interested in prepping or is already a prepper. And it's really good to have a community of people like we do in our area. There's a number of us that we all can bring our resources. So,
yeah. And I also have all the phone numbers of the neighbors around me. Yeah. All of them, like at least 10 different phone numbers with their names, addresses. So in case we need to reach each other, we can.
Yeah, it works great. So, well, thanks for watching. We really appreciate your time.
And if this is your first time, welcome. We appreciate you watching our video, and we hope you enjoy it.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.